are women that actually get to live on our own,
bro,
for the first time in like history.
Bro, I literally saw a girl on TikTok was like, we are the first generation in a lot of our lineage to be women to paying all of our own bills without a man and no kids.
Yes, and you have the luxury to choose to do that.
This is not like, oh, this is what I want to do, and I don't need a man for it. And a man comes, cool, but I don't need a man.
I don't need him for that.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, like once I started thinking about it like that, it really helped me learn how to be alone, because I was like, in reality, I'm looking at my apartment and all this is me right here.
Hey y'all, quick picture. Me and my mother are about to go out, and I was like, let's twin. We've never done this before. So we're twinning in Ira that drops February 22nd. She's so cute. I'm wearing a size small, top and bottom. I got this rosary. I'm not gonna wear a purse tonight. No earrings, actually. I don't know why I just did that. And then I got these white sweats. I have like nothing over here. And then
I have on a large in the bottoms. The top is a small. Look at the, oh my God, look at the sleeves, my favorite. And I'm wearing a nude heel.
Hey!
Woo!
Sensational.
Why do y'all niggas approach a pretty girl at the gas pump? Don't offer to pay for her gas. Don't offer to get out and pump it. But you asking for her number. You asking for her time. You asking for conversation. You already too needy. You coming in too needy.
Why would he pay for your gas? He doesn't even know you. He's trying to get to know you, you dumb fuck. This is why he's asking for your number.
Can I go on a quick rant here? I am so sick of not being pursued. I feel like anybody I've ever wanted or have gotten, I've pursued or made the first move. And it's like, with girls, like, I get there's like a shyness and like no one knows to make the first move. But with men, there is no excuse. There's no excuse. Like, we're gonna make eyes all night. I'm giving you all the signs. I'm literally dropping the handkerchief for you and you're literally missing the sign the whole time. Like, why am I giving you the idea for the date? Why am I giving you my number first? Why am I making the first move with the kiss? Like, and like, if we're out at a bar and like we're literally making eyes the whole night and you're about to leave, why are you not asking me for my number? Why? Like, all I'm saying is start approaching women. People forgot how to flirt. People don't know how to flirt anymore. Like, I'm so done with the dating apps. Like, I refuse to even get on those anymore. So I've been trying to like do things in person, and it is crazy how like no one knows how to pursue anybody.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video.
As a woman, why do you want to get married?
Because if you find a man that can build you a pirate patio set and clean out your castle chicken coop, you make him yours in every legal way possible.
As long as you're disrespectful, arrogant, man-like, loudmouth, manipulative, controlling, abusive, verbally and physically, extremely mentally independent, not submissive, a man's not gonna see you as a woman. He's gonna see you like a man. He's gonna treat you like a man, meaning he's not gonna wanna protect you. He's not gonna wanna be loyal to you. He's not gonna trust you with his heart because you act like a man, you think like a man, which isn't nothing cute about that. A man wants to feel like he has to protect and love and take care of a woman and treat her tender. But if you are consistently disrespectful, belittling, and you act like you got balls, he's gonna treat you like that. Regardless of the situation and the circumstance, a woman being womanlike is always the solution. A man melts and heart belongs to a woman who is loving, submissive, caring, and not controlling. But as long as you work inside the Jezebel, he would not respect you like a woman. He will see you like a man and treat you according to that.
The men who hate feminism, you can't afford it. You're broke as you cannot afford to hate this. A man's job is to protect and provide, they say. Protect and provide what?
4 for 4 every 2 days. Like, I'm just like, are you guys being so frugal right now? You have a business administration degree. You make like $90K a year typing in basic Excel functions at your 9-to-5 corporate job. You think that a woman wants to split that salary with you and budget this for your children? No!
Oh my God. So annoying.
Please tell me y'all have seen the video of the girl and her boyfriend that are in the car arguing because he is upset that she told the waiter at the restaurant that he was unemployed and he could not pay the tab. Yes, y'all, so he is 38 hot with his girlfriend. He's basically saying she divulged too much information to that waiter. It was not the waiter's business, that he was not capable of paying that bill, that she should have just handed over her debit card or her credit card so that he can present as if he was the one that was actually paying the tab. Her justification was, well, no, I'm the one that's paying it. I mean, I did accidentally slip up and say that you was unemployed, but it wasn't a lie. Was she wrong, y'all? Was she doing too much? I think so. I think it wasn't the waiter's business that he's unemployed and that she was paying, but at the same time, I feel like it was kind of a vengeful thing, a thing out of spite that she did to say that, to try to emasculate him possibly. But y'all finna tag the video so y'all can go watch it. Come back and let's talk about it in the comments. Was she wrong, or is he justified in his anger, in his frustrations in the situation? Let's talk about it in the comments.
Being thin doesn't earn respect. Being trustworthy does. The word doesn't respect perfection, it respects proof. When people see a woman who's in shape, what they really see is someone who follows through. Someone who says she'll do something and actually does it. That's what earns respect. Not the abs, not the number on the scale, the integrity behind it. Anyone can post motivation. Few can live it. And when your body shows consistency, it tells the world, I keep my word. Your body isn't just physical, it's psychological. It's the receipt of your standards, because being in shape isn't about being smaller, it's about being someone people can trust.
Men do not play hard to get. Work is just so crazy. I'm just so busy. I am going to hold your hand when I say this, and you're going to want to save this video for later. I have been on dates with men who are actually busy, men with companies, men who are executives, and you know what they are excellent at? Prioritization and running their calendar. So you want to know the difference between the guy who is actually busy and the one who couldn't give a damn about you? I will tell you. The guy who is actually busy responds to your message and says, I have back-to-back meetings all day. Let me call you at 7 and we'll figure this out. He calls you at 7, you guys figure it out, and it's handled. But the guy who couldn't give a about you, there's no consistency, there's no follow through. He keeps telling you all the things that he wants to do, and then he sits on his and he does absolutely nothing about it. But the guy who actually follows through, don't get it twisted. He's not doing it for you. He's doing it because that's who the hell he is. That's how he built his life. That's how he earned his success. And how you do one thing is how you do everything. The guy who is genuinely busy might not always be available, but he will never leave you guessing where you two stand. And his actions reflect it. And the best part about dealing with men like this is they free up your mental space. You're in your feminine energy. You're on top of you're focused on your fitness, your business. One guy will move mountains for you, help you build an empire, looking the best you've ever looked. The other guy will have you on a first-class flight to the lowest point of your life, looking like a rat in New York City.
You know, the thing about it is a lot of modern women want men to grow and they want men to improve. Well, we didn't improve. And now we in the phase of our improvement where accountability happens. And we all got to take accountability, men and women. If men got to do it, you got to do it too. And I know it hurts your pride. I know it hurts your ego. You're not used to being held accountable. You're not used to men asking you what you bring to the table. You're not used to hearing, well, maybe it's you. Maybe you're the problem. You're not used to hearing that. But that's where we're at right now. Accountability. Don't care about your feelings. I don't care about you getting upset. You know, you don't want to be a jerk, but hey, listen, after you get through with all that, what do you bring to the table? Well, I just believe a man this, and this. I got it. I understand it. What do you bring to the table? Nothing? Okay.
They give me
everything that I want and beyond. Because at the end of the day, a guy who has a CEO mindset, who is telling the entire world what to do every day, wants to be told what to do. You gotta whip him into shape. Whip him. I'm not here to conform to him. I am not here to please him. He is there to please me. He is there to serve me. He is there to give me. Again, this is a very high, powerful, net worth individual. So, not your average person who's making like less than 150K. And even like between 150 to like 400, it's a similar mindset because they got bills and savings and all of that. Like, you gotta go for the millions, honey. You gotta go for the millions. And never ever sleep with them, because what if the next guy's richer that they introduce you to? And like nicer and kinder and more generous and more fun. Keep your options open.
Girls, like when you're with a man, if you have the pleasure of being with a man who is going to grind to build you up a beautiful future, who's going to work as hard as he can and sacrifice things for himself, sacrifice leisures and joys for himself in order to build a kingdom for you and your future family, realize that he's grinding for you and support that. I don't need to be spoiled. I don't need to ask for this, this, and that. I shouldn't be expecting him to buy me all these things. Like, support the fact that like you're blessed enough to find a man that's going to grind for you. Realize that he's doing it for you. And so support him in that decision, and don't make it difficult for him, or don't put guilt on him just because you want like nice things. You know what I mean?
God, dude,
if
you've
you want
never done that to me, bro.
Yeah, if you want to go buy yourself some nice things, then maybe you have to go pick up, you know, a little extra work so that if you really want those things, if you really think that you need those things, then don't put that on your man when he's grinding for you in order to have a beautiful future.
This video resonates, I'm sure, with a lot of men that are building a lifestyle for their queen. How you know a boy has become a man is based on his desire to provide and to protect for others. Boys take, men give. They create, they build. They don't build for themselves, they build so they can provide for all of those around them. So I know that a lot of men are resonating with this video. And women, if you have a man like that, congratulations, you won the lottery.
It's a good day to stop giving about all the things that keep.
Yes, misandry levels are rising, but what I've noticed is that there are select individuals out there who apparently choose to either live with their heads permanently lodged in a particular orifice or possibly in the sand, are not realizing that increased levels of misandry create increased levels of misogyny. And let's be very clear, misandry is a form of bigotry. And why anyone would be proud of being bigoted against an entire demographic of people, I have no idea. But yet we have reached that point in time when there are individuals out there that are very proud about hating someone for a characteristic about themselves that they cannot control. So yes, it's time to celebrate the times that we live in, because the internet has made bigots very much out there for everyone to see and to truly enjoy watching.
You know what's genuinely stressing me out is the amount of men that like don't understand that it is a male's job to pursue.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck she talking about. Anyway, finally, this motherfucker did something. And I know he got his guts rearranged in the process, but you know, at least he finally did what he had to do. Finally, he grew some fucking balls, and it was the most morbid scene in the entire show so far, hands down. Ever since the beginning of this fucking show, he's just been pissing me off, getting his ass whooped every time. And you know, finally a little bit of character development, a little bit, but I kind of miss it. I kind of miss ruthless Nolan. But this motherfucker might become the new Mark, bro. Just, again, getting his ass whooped anytime he has to fight anything that's above street tier. Oh, but Mason, he's just a kid. I know, he's just a fucking kid. But bro, it's gonna piss me off. It's really gonna piss me off. Nolan and Mark had to stay saving his ass that entire episode. He was about to get murked. Fucking times. Ah, man, I can just see it. I can see it now. He's about to make me so angry the rest of this season. I was losing a little bit of hope after that episode last week, the filler episode with everybody's favorite side plot with, you know, Damien Darkblood. You know, just favorite side character of the entire show. We're finally getting some shit we give a fuck about. I can't believe I didn't even know this season came out until like a couple weeks ago. Wild.
These are some questions you should never, ever, 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 ever ask a man.
Let's see how single women are trying to keep other women single today.
Number 1, are you hungry? It doesn't matter if he's hungry, it's not your problem.
So caring.
Number 2, do you need something? You're not there to fulfill his needs, he's there to fulfill yours.
Thanks for demonstrating that someone doesn't know how relationships actually work.
Number 3, how are you feeling? His feelings don't matter, only yours do.
So much for some women having empathy.
Number 4, do you like this? Whether it's something that you made for him or something that you're, wearing or whatever, or something that you got, whatever. Unless he paid for it and, he offered to buy for you and you want him to get his money's worth. No, don't ask that. But otherwise, you don't need his validation for anything, or for any reason. Because why? His opinion doesn't matter.
I can think of somebody else's opinion who really doesn't matter that much either.
Can I help you with that? He doesn't need your help. He's a man. He does not need your help, okay?
I wonder if they consider men and women to be equals. Because that would mean that women don't need help from men either.
What can I do for you? Or what can I do to help you? Nothing. The answer is nothing.
Why didn't they just title this video, How to Make Sure That Your Relationship Absolutely Fails in Every Way Possible? That would have been much easier.
One of the things that modern women, even though they're not saying it, they try to shame men. One of the things that modern women have been trying to do for a long time is they've been trying to feminize men. Trying to soften men up, trying to tell them that masculine energy is toxic. But then what happens? Those same women are out here saying, I can't find a real man. I want an alpha man. Where's a masculine man, a strong man? That's what they're saying. I mean, you mean the ones that you tried to shame, that you said wasn't a real man for the things that they said and the way that they was acting? You mean those? Can't find me a man that's an alpha, a real man, a man that takes charge, a man that wants to be a protector. So which one is it? Y'all can't continue to try to tear a man down, tear down his masculinity, tear down his framework, and then complain that there's no masculine men left. You did that. You created that.
The guys who I show little interest in are literally blowing up my phone, and the guys I'm showing interest in are ghosting me. This is a perfect example of cologne. When you're not interested in someone, there's no resistance. So all of your bad habits aren't present. Usually when you desire someone or you're wanting more intimacy, more connection, you want things to go deeper, there's all sorts of little ways that you'll start tensing against intimacy, especially if that's something that you've struggled with for a long time, or you'll start bracing for rejection, bracing for disappointment, bracing, anticipating the other shoe to drop, not feeling safe, not feeling secure. What if I lose him? All of those habits have got to go. And this is why behavior shopping doesn't really work, because it doesn't solve the root of the issue, and that's how people get defeated in their love life. If you don't know what I mean by cologne, you can go watch my playlist on it. I explain it more there. I also have a really in-depth training on it inside Texting Magic, and that's really where I teach you how to stop bracing. Like, we go really in depth in there. There's really no getting around this, because when you like someone, you can't signal disinterest and expect it to go somewhere, right? If you don't like someone, usually what that's doing is it's just neutral. And so neutral, no resistance, that'll get you pursued. But most people don't feel that way when they really like someone. And so what you can't do is, hey, I really like you and I'm signaling yes. Now, please don't hurt me, please don't hurt me, please don't hurt me. You can't do that. That's the part that screws everyone up.
Start teaching your sons that just because she's crying doesn't mean she's not manipulating him or lying through her teeth. Thank you.
Women do not leave good men. So if you start seeing someone and their story to you is that their last partner left them, please know the reason is they are not a good man. So let's be honest, as women, we're always willing to try to work on the relationship.
Explain the women that cheat then. All women are willing to work on a relationship, huh? Are really? There are so many good men out there who have been broken up with. And heck, don't even start looking at some of those divorced men out there. They're the best ones. Because the woman they were with took them for granted for years. It's just weird how we're starting to like, oh, let's always side with women no matter what. Not only that, okay, but if we let's look at the divorce rate. 70% of women file. So it's probably safe to say that women probably do the breaking up with a little more often. I mean, is that fair? You mean to tell me all those men deserved it, that they weren't good men? Not only that, but are you taking into account like those situations where just they weren't right for each other, they weren't compatible? Maybe neither one of them is toxic or a bad person in general. They're just not a good fit for each other, their values don't mix, they don't enjoy each other's company, you know, stuff like that. Or is that not up for consideration?
Why don't guys ask girls on dates anymore? All I'm getting is vague, let's hang out sometime energy. It's not that men stopped being interested, it's that dating apps trained everyone to wait for a green light, and social media made rejection feel permanent. One wrong move and suddenly you're a screenshot in a group chat. So instead of asking a girl out, they test the waters, send memes, flirt halfway, and drag out conversations for weeks with no plan. Meanwhile, women are left feeling like they're being kept warm instead of chosen. No time, no place, no intention, just constant low-effort attention. Confidence didn't disappear, it just became rare, and that's why the guy who actually says, "I want to take you out, when are you free?" immediately stands out.
Okay, you made it through Valentine's Day, the day that everyone feels awkward or left out if they're single, but trust me, you were actually saved. You were actually saved from a whole lot of fakeness and a whole lot of pretending and stuff like that. What is so special about flowers and a teddy bear and a basic dinner that you can do any day of the week, most likely for yourself? Not that what the men do isn't like appreciated or whatever, but at the end of the day, it's not that impressive. They're only doing it because they have to do it, okay? Most men were in line at Trader Joe's or whatever, grabbing the last crunched, smashed, wilted flowers they could get because they didn't really want to do this. They're doing this because they have to, because simply they're hoping for at the end of the night. Valentine's Day is a day for men that's almost guaranteed if you get the woman the right things, so she can go on social media, show those basic things, and then pretend like the relationship is great, so then you can make her happy, so then you can have... It's the same game every year, okay? But if you look at men every other day of the year, the remaining 364 days of the year, what are they doing then when the calendar's not telling them what to do and stuff like that? It would be so meaningful if a man even stopped by the Dollar Tree to grab you a little stuffed animal or a treat or whatever it is on his way home when the calendar didn't tell him to do so. And how many men realistically are doing that? Women are constantly treating their boyfriends and husbands like it's Valentine's Day almost every day of the week in some form or fashion, whether it's cooking for him or making sure that he has what he needs and stuff like that. Men do it when they're told. So don't feel like you're missing out on anything. And like I said, the little things that men do on Valentine's Day, like appreciate it and stuff. I'm not saying drop kick the teddy bear and then smash the flowers with your feet, but just keep that in mind. Don't forget how it's like on the normal days and stuff like that. Don't let this overshadow and think that he's putting an effort to the relationship and stuff like that. No, he's doing it because he's obligated to, so he avoids disappointing the woman and so he can have at the end of the night. That's it.
You know, what's interesting to me is how everybody wants to talk about what men need to do better. And, you know, fine, men can always improve. Not saying that men are perfect, but my thing is accountability should be going both ways. So what are women doing better? What are you bringing to the table? Now, like, what modern women like to do is they like to stay stagnant. And so, well, I did X, Y, and Z. Well, yeah, I mean, that was 5 years ago. Y'all complain and y'all holler and scream about a man not growing with you, but you want to stay the same. Oh, I just elevated and I went to the next level. He never did. But what happens when you don't move and the man is moving? What happens then? Be accountable for sitting up there and doing nothing. What do you bring to the table that you weren't doing? How have you grown versus what you were doing in the past 5 years? A lot of modern women will say, well, I got more feminine by, resting more. And it will be about them. It won't necessarily be about the relationship. It'll be how they figured out ways to pamper themselves more on a man's. But you really didn't do anything.
I'm not trying to offend nobody with this one, right? But I feel like there's a lot of women who say, oh, you know what I'm saying, we're living in a time where men act real feminine, but we're also living in a time where women are acting very masculine. Women lost their touch. Women, even their voice, they sound like Pop Smoke. Like, y'all try so hard to be rough riders instead of being feminine, dressing feminine, acting feminine, smelling feminine. Like, you know what I'm saying? You a lot of y'all just smell like weed and cigarettes. You know, a lot of women just like show on the internet all day. Like, I don't understand. What do you gain from that? And then y'all complain like, oh, you think I'm this. I'm thinking you put that out there. Whatever you put out there is how people are going to perceive you to be. But y'all want men to be a certain way, act a certain way.
Ladies, if you are beautiful, smart, and successful, you will have by far the hardest time in dating.
Sure. That is what some women have to tell themselves.
And it's not because you're lacking in any way. In fact, it's the opposite.
Oh, do tell.
As you've probably experienced, many men think they want a confident, independent woman, but when it comes down to actually meeting one, it's a whole different story.
Really? That statement right there tells me that one actually hasn't been listening to what men actually say that they do want.
These men know that you don't need them in a traditional sense, so unless they're extremely secure, which most people are not.
Is that the voice of experience speaking?
Brings up a ton of insecurities for them and challenges their masculinity.
No, it doesn't. But if one wants to continue telling us that one doesn't actually know anything about what men actually want, then by all means, continue.
They know you don't need them. They may feel some lack of control over the situation and be afraid that you're going to leave them for someone better. Some of these men might even resent you and feel kind of competitive with you. In any case, a lot of these men end up deciding that they'd rather commit to a woman who seems less challenging to them and ultimately less threatening to their ego.
Okay, it's time for a bit of brutal honesty here, which I know is going to hurt some women's feelings. But it doesn't matter how beautiful, independent, or strong a woman is. At the end of the day, if she has a bad attitude that doesn't do anything to bring any sort of joy, happiness, or peace to a man's life, that woman isn't worth that man's time. It doesn't matter what a woman wants to tell herself, but if her attitude is crap, then that man isn't going to choose her. I'm sorry, ladies, but that's the truth.
Goes to show you right here that money cannot buy you love, man. You know, money is not going to do anything but bring out the worst in people. You know, and this is a woman who will never respect you. You go out here, buy her a car, propose, she still rejects, she doesn't care about you. You know, you can't beg for love. You know, and that's pretty much how God feels for us, right? He's constantly wanting to love us, constantly wanting to give everything he can to us, and we're constantly rejecting him. You know, and I'm telling you, the best thing you can do in this situation is, you know what, I'm going to pray for this girl. I hope the best for her. And go find someone who's going to put God first. Find someone who's going to grind with you and care about you and appreciate you and value you for who you are, man. That's the best thing you can do for yourself. He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. You get up and you do what you need to do to improve your life, and you leave the girl behind. You know, God is not going to have something happen if there is not a reason to it. Jim Grant and God, man.
Let's play. She's lifting. I thought she was naked, by the way. It apparently does the color pro leggings. It is what it is. Oh. Girlfriend got stuck.
Bail out. Just bail.
She got stuck. She didn't want to throw it. So now she's trying to get guys to come over and help her to lift that thing off her back. Right? Now this goes on. Look, excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. She's just sitting there, just throwing it on her head now.
Just throw it.
She was afraid to do that. And I'm not going to lie, I might be afraid to do it too because a lot of weight. And I'd be like, is this thing going to hit me in the behind? What's going to go on? She stays there. She stays there. Excuse me. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my God. Well, yeah, you can't stay there all day, girlfriend. If you scroll through, I don't know, Dell, if you want to scroll through, but ultimately what happens is a girl comes over.
She's sitting there for like a minute.
Lifts it off her back. She's like, hey. Now, granted, guys have earbuds, but you will see that the girl comes over and helps her.
Okay.
First of all, girlfriend, why are you lifting all that weight? That's too much weight for you. You need to know your limits.
And I think this is going to become more common, where if you need help, you're going to have to ask another woman. And I don't see necessarily anything wrong with that part. Men have been treated so badly, they're not going to take that risk, especially if you're dressed like that. I know I'll get hate for saying that, but that's the reality, especially for the men who are taken. He's not gonna want to be all up and close to you like that. A lot of men have faced consequences for helping women. They're saving them from drowning because it's often taken the wrong way. And women can't blame anyone except themselves in this situation.
Who commits more infidelity, men or women? If we go off self-reports, men admit it more. But hold on, there's a problem. Cheating stats are built on confession, and confession isn't truth. It's what people are willing to say out loud, and women have more incentive to under-report. Why? It's very simple, honestly. More social punishment, more reputation damage, more risk of being labeled and judged permanently. So listen, when a woman thinks that her reputation is at risk, she will do anything to protect it. So they sanitize the story, they rewrite it, they minimize it. Men, weirdly, do the opposite. They exaggerate. They view it as conquest, and they admit it because it doesn't destroy their identity the same way as it does to women. So yes, men cheat more is true on paper, and women conceal more is true in real life. So the conclusion: men report more infidelity. Women hide more infidelity, and the real number is always higher than what people like to admit. But hold on, there's more. A lot of modern cheating doesn't even get counted as cheating. It's just texting. It's just venting. Oh, they're just a friend. Sure. But if you're hiding it, if you'd never do it in front of your partner, if you're deleting messages, if you're locking your phone, if you're changing passwords, that is cheating behavior. Stop focusing on statistics that much and start watching behavioral patterns. That is all the data you need, my friends.
And what happens a lot of times with modern women who have these high standards is that they don't pay attention. They don't pay attention, and they don't really see that the competition around them, it heats up. The competition around them gets serious. The man gets himself together, and women like that. And so there's a woman out there that understands what a man is trying to do, and she says, I like where you're going. I want to go that direction too. How about I hitch my wagon to yours? And modern women think that they have all the time in the world, right? They think that they can be masculine. They think that they can be a strong, independent woman for the rest of their life. But like I said, you have women out there that are getting themselves together. Women that are making themselves ready. Women that decide maybe the 304 life isn't for me, and they don't get into it. Or maybe a woman that might have an experience, maybe a couple of times, right? Maybe even a handful of times. And she says, there were some things that I used to do back in college that I'm less than proud of. It's not on the internet, but I'm less than proud of what I used to do. And so I'm just looking for a man to love me and kind of respect me and care for me. I've had a change of heart. And she finds that man. She gets herself together and she finds that man. And she doesn't withhold. She gives him, everything that she has. She tries to provide for him. She tries to nurture him, respect him, follow his lead, cooperate with him, and all those other things. All you modern women continue to raise your standards and continue to look down on her and look down on the man who got with her because they're living happily and she settled. She's a baddie. She is a baddie. She's pretty, but she's a baddie because her attitude is good. She's a baddie because she realized, I do understand that my past is, I was doing some weird stuff. I was out there doing some weird stuff. And so I gotta accept that. He knows that. And he does accept that. It does make him feel uncomfortable in some ways, but I'm not expecting a millionaire. The man makes $50,000 a year. He's a good guy. He's moving up, working his way up to supervisor. In about 10 years' time, that man becomes a supervisor and a manager, and he's making a little bit more money. All you modern women are still out there talking about what you're not going to settle for.
Why men are losing interest in dating. A lot of men flat out don't see a clear upside anymore. What, he has to beg to be in a relationship so he can pay your bills? He can't expect reciprocation at all. There's high risk of ghosting when he could have just hung out with some friends. Are exhausted from dating apps. He might send out 50 messages to maybe get 2 replies. And just maybe one of those might turn into an actual date, if he's lucky. And they're swiping for hours, days, just feels like rejection over and over again. Conversations stall constantly, and he's expected to make the first move and come up with something interesting constantly. If at any point he's not interesting, or even sometimes when he is interesting, that's still not good enough. She might just ghost him randomly, for no reason, and he doesn't know why. A lot of women, the infinite options makes all these individual men feel very disposable. Constant competition, and a lot of women will actually rub this in a man's face. All of her Instagram DMs that she gets, dating app matches, all the validation she gets off social media when these people don't even know her in real life. Yes, he feels like he has to compete with all of that. Also, dating is expensive. Dinners, dates, even if he takes out every woman to a coffee date, it still adds up over time. Also, he's got to make sure he's got good housing, because, I mean, most women won't date a man that lives with his parents, and he knows that. He's got to pay for education, potentially, or certificates, so he can grow his career to be more attractive. All the grooming and hygiene. Dating is very expensive for men, despite a lot of women believing that that's not the case.
I look a mess now, but I don't think I have to settle with a man that I don't find handsome.
Okay, let's do it. Well, what would you rate yourself on a scale from 1 to 10? Just your face. You cannot use 7.
A 10.
What? Oh, poor baby. Now let's try this again.
So I'm not.
You are not the most beautiful woman in the world. Cosmopolitan ain't trying to get you to be on the cover. People ain't deemed you one of the most beautiful women in the world. So let's go.
So what would you rate me?
I asked you. Since you want to bring looks about men into it, I'm asking you. What would you rate yourself? And the first thing out of your mouth was a lie. A 10. You ain't nobody's 10.
God damn. My face is not a 10, so
all right.
I think I'm definitely a 10.
Cool, I bet you do. When was the last time you did any runway modeling or print modeling?
I've never been involved in that.
Why not? That's what 10s do. And a lot of you ladies just say this because
I'm not a 10.
Like, you're not. You're not a 10. Women like yourself have all this attitude, thinking that you're way up here, to where you're going to judge men and saying men are this or that. 51% of black men are single and childless, 64% in the middle class. It is harder for a black man to find a woman that's working with no children than it is for a black woman to find a black man that's working with no kids. Most of you come with somebody's kid attached to you. And then you got the nerve to walk around when you're unfit, overweight, out of shape, and looking average, cute, or whatever, thinking you're way up here judging men who have more to offer than you do, and have the nerve talk about you're picky.
A major red flag in men that's actually normalized in society is a man playing video games. I used to think that this was acceptable growing up, but as I continue to grow old, I just can't seem to justify it. It's like, in my mind, a man playing a video game is the equivalent of a grown man coloring in a coloring book. It's like, aren't we just kind of beyond that? It's like, why wouldn't we go outside, shoot and chop some wood? It's like, I just think that if a hobby isn't either building competence or somewhat leading to personal growth internally, whether it's, physical development, mental development, spiritual development, it's like, why are we even doing it? Like, why are we wasting our time with a video game for a quick dopamine high?
It's almost as if men can't have relaxed fun anymore. I really feel like this is coming from some sort of script that his girlfriend gave him. Guys, it's okay to play video games if that's what you enjoy and it's not overtaking your life. It's also okay for you to individually decide that you don't want to play video games anymore because you want to spend your time doing something else. Look, I grew up playing video games like Final Fantasy, RPG. I spent hours playing. I stopped playing them when I had kids, when I decided to deprioritize it because I wanted to do other things. But I still have relaxed fun, just like most women find ways to have relaxed fun, whether it's going to get nails done, going to the spa, having a walk, going out to dinner or brunch with a girlfriend. I'm just trying to imagine a woman coming on here and saying, I don't go to the spa because I find productive things that actually improves myself or society. Yeah, it just doesn't happen. So guys, if you enjoy video games, keep enjoying them.
I honestly think that the reason why men aren't producing as much testosterone and aren't as masculine as they used to be is because of women. Women have put men in this little box to where like, hey, look, listen to what I say or you're going to jail. Basically, once a woman says, oh, I like a man that's going to put me in my place, I like this, I like that. Oh, but once you try to do those things, you're going to jail. She's calling the cops. Any acts of aggression, you are going to jail. Even if they get there, if the man has a black eye and scratched all over his face and the woman says, no, he was the aggressor, he is going to jail because society naturally looks at the man, especially a black man, as being aggressive. You know what I mean? And so I think that men have become so complicit with just not wanting to get in trouble or not wanting to be seen as the bad guy. They kind of have fallen back a little bit. You know, women, you see them living loud and proud. You cannot tell a woman how to live her life at all. She goes online and openly says she beats men. She goes and does all these things and says all these things. And it's like, it's celebrated that women beat men. You know, I'm like, oh yeah, it's just kick that in his chest. Like, you know what I mean? If a man came online and said, yes, I openly beat, everyone's going to be like, you're a monster, you're going to jail. You know what I mean? And then don't try to tell a woman's kids what to do. She will actually put her hands on you for even just trying to tell her kids, hey, don't do that. Not even in a disrespectful way. You know what I mean? And I think that men naturally don't like drama. So they try to stay away from those type of, like, just the situation in general. And so I think that what we're seeing when they're saying men are producing less testosterone, I think it's because the women are producing more testosterone. And that's where I think a lot of times people are like, oh, I have PCOS. I think that it's just women just naturally becoming masculine in a way, you know? And again, a lot of these women shouldn't even have the jobs that they have because they should have cases against them, but because the cops come out and they choose the woman's side, they don't. You know what I mean? The man, they're stuck with this for their lives. You know what I mean? And so I don't know. I was just thinking about that today, and I was just like, you know what's crazy is like I just don't hear the deep voices anymore. Like this one woman said, she's like, you know, men used to have deep voice. I'm like, I heard a deep voice a couple weeks ago, and I was like, instantly, like I was drawn to attention because I hadn't heard one in a long time. You know what I mean? It's like you see things like even in the 90s when I was a kid in the 90s, but like I see the pictures of the men in the 90s, I hear their voices from the 90s, I'm just like, wow, like they were completely different from the men nowadays. Even the men nowadays have become so complicit that they're like, oh yeah, you know, if you want to sleep with, you know, someone, you know, we don't have to be anything serious, it's fine. It's like men used to be like, nah bitch, like you not sleeping with nobody. Even if they're cheating on you behind your back, like they're still not gonna let you to a thing. You know what I mean? But they've come so just under the radar that they will even let women now openly sleep around and say, oh, we're not together, just so that they don't have smoke with these women. And it's kind of weird, and it's kind of like, I just don't know, it's just like a weird turn of events for this generation that I'm currently living in.
The longer you keep on letting them talk, they talk themselves right out of high value. I was raised in a Christian home. Fantastic. I believe in God. Fantastic. But do I go out there and I show my body? I'm not going to put her videos out here. But yeah, no, she's out here, obviously with her bikini on. If you go to, you know, whatever beach and there's somebody I had a conversation with where they did this sort of thing and they talked about how holy they were. And then they went out there and they were showing their body off like that. Put your chest all out. Oh, I don't need to show my chest. Chest is all out right here, all in the camera. Pulling your shirt up. Like I said, I ain't gonna include this. Got your legs all spread for the camera. We don't need to see that, right? Out here, once again, in the bikini. Keep on letting them talk. They're gonna talk themselves right out of being high value. And it's always going to come back around to, oh, well, I got an education and I'm a hustler. Fantastic. A couple of things that men don't really care about. Fantastic. Good for you. Good for you, definitely. I give you respect, especially going to Harvard, getting your degree, PhD, saying, hey, I want to be able to, you know, be in these conversations. I want to know a little bit more about what's going on. So I'm going back to get my master's degree or my PhD. And they accepted me. I'm happy about that. You should be. That's a huge accomplishment. Go get the bag. But a lot of times, what we do, and you see, like I said, when she was talking, she started off as, I'm perfect, I'm this and I'm that. But then she started to say, well, say for instance, I mean, I have a glass of wine here and there. Okay, nobody asked you about that. But you're saying, well, yeah, I mean, I have a glass of wine here and there, meaning that's not the way that I was brought up. I wasn't supposed to be doing that, but I'm doing it now, but it's okay. I mean, yeah, I wear a bathing suit every now and then, but I'm pretty. I'm good looking. I should be able to do that. Nobody said anything. You did. That's not the way that you were brought up. So even at 49 years old, we still have modern women who are delusional. Delusional. Now, I don't want to give space to excuse him being a bum, but there's a lot of things that modern women continue to say, and it circles right back around to the same playbook. No, ma'am. Absolutely not.